All right, so here are 3 reasons you should use a 12 gauge shotgun for home defense. Number one, reliability. 90% of shotguns are reliable. 100% of them are reliable if you're getting a Mossberg. But brand doesn't really matter as long as, it's cleaned, lubricated, and maintained properly, right? Second, effectiveness. If you hit somebody with a 12 gauge, you're gonna make one hell of a mess, regardless of the round you use, unless you're using birdshot, right? If you're using buckshot or slug, well, it sucks to suck and get hit with that shit. Now the problem is the mess. The mess you're gonna make is gonna be catastrophic. But you're still alive, and that's what really matters in the moment. Now, reason number 3 could be dependent on the individual, right? Cost effectiveness. You can get, depending on what you're looking for, you can get shells, slugs specifically, about $5 to $6 a box for a box of 5, right? That's not terrible. It's not great. And those are for federal. Those are for a name brand slug, right? So, that, or if you get some buckshot, that's probably like $7 a box. Whatever. Now, me, I have two 12 gauges, and I have 2 boxes of slugs and buckshot in each room. So, that's pretty cheap in the sense of home defense, unless you're looking at pistols. Rifles is kind of another thing. Rifles are great for home defense, and probably some of the best, weapons to choose for home defense considering the capacity, which is where shotguns do lack. The capacity can be hit or miss depending on what your state allows and what you have, right? I have pump action shotguns, and they're 7-1, which is cool because I don't really think I'm going to need more than 8 shots in most situations of the typical home invasion. Now, if the shit hits the fan and the government coming after me, well, obviously that's kind of different. Or not the government, but maybe society collapses, whatever the case may be. Obviously, a rifle would be much better for that. But a shotgun is still just as effective as a rifle, considering if you have the right load of slug, you can shoot up to 100 to 150 yards, I believe, depending, right? But on the lower end, you're guaranteed about 75 yards on the average slug. So, the only thing that could probably hold a person back using a 12 gauge, and again, that depends on what you're allowed to have in your state. If you can have a drum magazine, then obviously that's a little bit better than just a 7-1 in the magazine tube. That's kind of the only downside would be capacity. Effectiveness, cost effectiveness, and you can buy a shotgun for $200 and it could be a Mossberg, So on that end, that's probably a great choice. But that's just my take.